The advisor community in the press has not fared so well over the years.
The media a lot of times will paint us in a negative light.
That we're only into making money.
I don't think the industry gets the credit that it deserves.
What actually happens from a giving point of view.
There's just so many doing amazing things.
Invest in Others clearly is making sure that the outside world understands that our community is philanthropic and charitable.
I was born here in Encinitas, California. I live with my mother, my sister, my aunt, my uncle, and 2 little cousins. My father passed away sadly when I was 12 years old, back in 6th grade. It's been hard in our family, but we've gotten through it.
I first met Leo at the elementary school when my son was enrolled.
I remember playing some pickup soccer, and Bill Sparks coming up to me one day and asked me if I wanted to join the soccer team. I was really excited for that, to actually play on an actual, a very serious team. Because of Los Angelitos, I didn't have to pay the full price. That's where all started.
Los Angelitos de Encinitas, our mission statement is to fund, promote, and organize participation for low-income children in youth sports, to receive affordable after-school care and supplemental academic assistance.
Los Angelitos really got me to learn how to swim and got me involved with the Leaders in Training program.
He became the first Los Angelitos hire at our local YMCA and was working with low-income children.
It's a very rewarding position. They definitely create this strong connection between you and the kids.
It's truly one of the great satisfactions of our efforts is to see what was once a little boy grow up and mature and give back through our organization. It's really the virtuous cycle taking place right in front of your face, and it's fabulous.
Wow, well, it's great to see you. I'm glad and you're reading with kids.
Yeah. I'm a full-time college student at Maricosta College. I'm planning to be an English teacher and hopefully stay involved with kids.
Él es muy amable, es muy cariñoso. Pues yo estoy orgullosa de él, pues todo lo que ha logrado y lo que ha hecho, y sobre todo pues con los niños. Con los niños es muy cariñoso y le gustan mucho los niños.
Invest in Others is doing a very good thing, highlighting people in our industry who are engaged in their community.
Invest in Others identifies colleagues who contribute their time. I think it's wonderful.
And it's also nice that they step up and give a contribution to the charities that we all work with. I mean, that's a big deal.
It's a wonderful booster, both emotionally and financially, to organizations like mine.
What could be better than that?
I went with a friend to attend an overnight suicide prevention walk out of the darkness. It's the major fundraiser for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. During the walk, they set up luminaries that people have brought to remember their loved ones. It hit me that that could be Kristen someday.
6 years ago, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. My whole life, I had it planned out. What I wanted to do, who I wanted to be. But when I started to get sick, things slowly started to fade away. As my depression worsened, I started to have suicidal thoughts. And at first I was able to brush those off, kind of ignore them, but the thoughts got worse and it got harder to ignore.
At that point, I felt hopeless and I felt like I was on a roller coaster ride. I just put out on Facebook, I don't know what to do with my daughter.
She got a response from a member of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention who directed us to the Salt Lake Behavioral Hospital. Said, get her there, they'll help you.
I don't like to think where we would be without AFSP.
I see Kristen as an amazing survivor. She reflects what our mission is.
How are you?
To save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. And she's just, yes, a shining example of that.
Perfect.
When our son died by suicide 8.5 years ago, we were completely at a loss. There were no resources. No one I talked to had any information to help us understand what had happened. And there was a walk to prevent suicide. And there we found survivors just like us. And since then, we've become an official Utah chapter.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm really close with my mom.
Got it.
We do everything together. We volunteer together. We're a package deal. We help to make baskets for the silent auction. We make cupcakes to raise money and sell them door to door to all my neighbors.
That was 1 quarter.
The grant from Invest in Others allowed us to put up billboards of messages of hope and messages of help all over our state. They're in remote areas that we could never reach. Maybe the 3rd or 4th time someone drives by it who's having a mental health problem, they'll go to that webpage.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention saved my family. And we are what AFSP is striving for, to keep people here, to keep people alive.
Having been in that dark place and struggling myself and being on that journey and then coming out at the end and still being here, I feel like I'm able to connect with more people and let them know, like, keep fighting. It's worth it. You know, there is help.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Advisors are giving people. By nature, it's in their DNA to help their clients.
It translates perfectly into helping other people.
To give those in need and those with less their dreams.
We are plugged in, knowing what's going on at the local level.
We have an obligation to give back to our communities and to the world.
To really dive in and help those folks that truly need it.
We've got the time, we've got the money.
And we want to serve people. That's why we came in this to begin with.